Today we're going to be talking about proportions and if they are equivalent or not. Equivalent means to be equal. When a proportion is an equation stating that two ratios are equivalent, okay? Two ratios are equivalent. Now a ratio, before we move on, I want you to know the definition of ratio. Ratio is a comparison of two quantities, which are numbers, by division. And there are three different ways to write a ratio. 3:4, 3/4, and 3/4. Now when we're dealing with proportions, a lot of the times you're going to see the proportions as fractions. Okay, so a ratio is within a proportion. So you're looking at the two ratios that are given and seeing if they are equivalent or equal to each other. So if I had, for example, 2/3 and 4/6. Now, these are two ratios, so two comparisons of a number. If I simplify this 2/3, that means that I get it into its simplest form. It would just be 2/3. There's not a number that can go into 3 and 2. It is all the way simplified. I will do the same for this one. 4, 6. There is a number that can go into both 4 and 6, and it is 2. So I'm going to divide both sides by 2, and that will give me 2/3. These two are the same number. They are both 2/3. That tells me that they are proportional. Okay, let's try another one. 4/10 and 10/25. If I simplify these, before can be simplified by 2, so that would be 2, and what you do to the bottom you have to do the top, so 10 divided by 2 is 5. And 10 and 25 can be simplified by 5, so 10 divided by 5 is 2, and 25 divided by 5 is 5. Are these the same two fractions? Yes, they are. So that means that these are proportional. Now that is one way to figure out if two ratios are proportional. This is the simplifying way. Simplifying way. Another way to see if proportions or ratios, are proportional is by cross products. Now I'm going to use a couple different colored pencils just for you to be able to see a little better what I'm talking about. So that's A, this is B, okay, so these are cross products. That means that these two right here and these two right here multiplied together, a product means an answer, should equal each other if they are proportional. So, for example, if I put 2/3, 4, 6. There's my numbers as a cross product right there. So if I multiplied 2 times 6, it would give me 12. And then I come over here and I multiply 3 times 4. Actually, I'm going to do it. 3 times 4 gives me 12. These are the same number, so they are proportional. Okay, and there's also another way to find cross proportions by using the unit rate. If they gave you a word problem and they said that they gave you like the laps, here is one we can use right here. So you swim your first 4 laps in 2.4 minutes. You complete 16 laps in 12 minutes. Is the number of laps proportional to your time? Okay, so if I have, my ones are going to be 2.4 over 4 laps, minutes, question mark, and 12 minutes over 16 laps. So here's my problem. Okay, if I were to use unit rates means that I'm going to get this denominator to be 1. So if I wanted the denominator to be 1, I was going to have to divide by 4 divided by what gives you 1? 4. And because math is fair, what you do to the bottom, you have to do the top. So we're going to divide the top by 4, and that will give you 0.6. Same thing with this one. Now, I want a unit rate, so that means I need my denominator to be 1. Now, how did I get from 16 to 1? I divide by 16. What you do at the bottom, you have to do to the top, and this gives you 0.75. Now, are these two numbers the same? No. So they are not proportional. Okay? And in a nutshell, that's how you do find if proportions are proportional or non-proportional.